I'm Bill Longmore, Police and Crime Commissioner for West Mercia. In my early police life, I realised that if you can engage with young people and make them a sense of belonging to doing something positive, it had a very good effect on the way they grew up and when they grew older. And I've lived to see this happen in so many cases, so I know it works. Coming as Police and Crime Commissioner, I've tried to encourage this and, where possible, help people to achieve this. And there is no doubt in my mind that the more young people that we can engage in sport or any other type of activity which gives them a sense of belonging is a good thing. I've always thought that the police should be aware of the difficulties young people have, and we don't want to grow up in a society where young people are hostile to the police. So to me, it's important that the two of them respect each other. I think, first of all, dealing with the victims of crime, I think the answer, I think they are more likely to be victims of crime because, number one, they probably spend more time in the streets, walking about, play, going to various organisations, clubs and everything, where there's a lot of people. And where there's a lot of people, this is where you get your problems. As regards them committing crime, I think it's certainly, we are aware of this, and I think this is why we're doing so much work, and the police are doing so much work, and many organisations are trying to get a message through. But and I've always believed that if young people are engaged in something that they really love to do, such as sport or the sort of skill or something like that, I think they belonging to something gives them something that they want to hold on to, and they don't want to get outside this by committing crime and getting into trouble, because it'll take them out the group of people they perhaps love being with. Certainly in today's society it is a problem, and so therefore we've got to make people understand this. I've always believed that if young people have respect right from a young age, they'll grow up a better person. And I think that the fact is, I've been going into schools and talking to young people on this, I think is a good thing. And I think it's vital that we make the young people realise that they will face all these challenges and sort of thing, but it's an understanding of what is right and what is wrong. And I think for young people to understand the difference between right and wrong. One of the big problems we have today is the continual reoffending. And so therefore we shall be announcing shortly a new scheme, whereas we have actually formed a company where we shall be engaging with all the prisons, where they will be making goods, and there is a lot of talent in the prisons, where they will be making goods which are to be sold out to the general public. This will be done at outlets throughout the West Mercia area. It is going to be a company that will make a profit, and as the profits are generated in the future, that money will be put back into the system, and this will allow training and everything to go on within the prisons. On the other side, when the very young offenders, we have on various grant schemes, we have put money into people that are trying to, if you like, work with young people. So I think that is money well spent. I think we're getting some good results. And it'll only be in the future because we have got to get the reoffending down in this country. I believe that in today's society we've got to do something about, number one, prevention of crime, and number two, the rehabilitation of offenders. In other words, if we can reduce crime, if we can reduce the number of people that are going to prison and then coming out and reoffending, we can reduce the amount of money that's being spent on the criminal justice system. At the moment, there's approximately 87,000 people in prison. There's a 60% reoffending rate on people who are doing 12 months and under sentences. They're coming out, going back in again. It's costing, the last estimate were about £13 billion a year. One of the schemes which has been very successful is what we call IOM, which is Integrated Offender Management, which in short means that when people come out of prison, they are watched over to ensure, where possible, they're kept on the straight and narrow. And if they don't, and they commit other offences, they're quickly arrested and dealt with accordingly. Now, this has proved to be very effective so far, and so we are increasing this scheme. And in fact, statistics on an independent audit showed that for every pound spent on this, there was in fact a saving of £15 because of the success of the scheme. I've enjoyed being Police and Crime Commissioner, at least most of the time, and one of the best times I think I've had when I see the impact we can have on communities. And one of the things which has pleased me very, very much is the police cadet scheme, and it is a voluntary police cadet scheme. They don't get paid. They come and they train one night a week, and then the police engage them on as many other activities as they can, public activities. And I see the cadets when they first start, and I see them 6 months down the line, and I see them at various functions they attend. And I must admit, it always brings almost a lump to my throat to see how some of them have developed. They're there, a lot of them were very shy and reluctant, but there they are, they're all smiling, and they seem to grow up. They suddenly become adults. The police can't do everything. You've got to rely on a lot of volunteers and that to do it. And I think where possible, these people should be supported so that we can create a much safer and better society. And what's more, I think what's most important is to create an happy society as well.